Hello everyone and welcome back. So a friend of mine, username JH316, asked me to critique one of his battles, so why not put it on YouTube and share the wisdom. Alright, let's look at his setup. He has a front line of 7 Naginata samurai, then 3 bow ashigaru, 3 lone sword ashigaru, and up here hidden he's got a matchlock ashigaru and 3 cavalry, 2 yaris, and 1 katana. Now, he did a pretty good job in this battle. He did a pretty good job of skirmishing. He recognized he had a ranged advantage and really pressed that hard, though I would argue he was a little timid in his attack, and there were some times where he passed up some really good opportunities to press the attack. So let's look at his enemy. He has 2 bow warrior monks, a Nodachi samurai, 2 katana samurai, a katana hero, a fire rocket team, and a naginata and a yari. He also has 2 great guards in ambush over here, but they'll come into play later. So let's see how this plays out. Obviously he has a big numerical advantage. It's good for him. And these Naginatas will give him the good balance that he'll need. And there aren't too many katanas, so overwhelming him with Naginatas is a pretty realistic option. So it looks like his army has an advantage. What he has to be careful of is these fire rockets. If they snipe his general, battle's over. Luckily, it doesn't happen, because they have a pretty short range. They're not like catapults or cannons. They don't have that huge range. Their range is about the same as archers. He'll have to also watch out for these bow warrior monks, because their range is noticeably longer than his bow ashigaru. So he'll have to be really careful when he's skirmishing. But he ends up doing a pretty good job. So let's look at how the battle's unfolding. He's being aggressive and going straight for the workshop, which is good, because this guy isn't. So if he's not making a move for it, you definitely need to go get it. This turns out to be huge in the ranged battle, because they get increased armor and melee defense, and the armor is what's going to protect him against missile attacks. So good for him. He sends a unit up here to take the sword dojo, so he'll have a building advantage. His units will be a lot stronger. So that's good for him. Now, not much happens here in the beginning. Both sides are just kind of sizing each other up. I think he missed a really good opportunity to skirmish here, because he just kind of has his bows up. I would have probably put my missile units over here, because right now he doesn't have any cavalry, and if he does, they're not relevant, because they'll be way over here, which they are. So I would have probably moved my bows up to this higher ground, and really started aggressively skirmishing right here, using my cavalry to chase these guys back. But he kind of sits and waits it out. Now while he's waiting it out, the fire rockets start shooting. And that seems like a bad thing, but his general's in a safe position. He's not going to take many casualties. Fire rockets are really inaccurate, and he's got these trees in this building here protecting him, so good move to sit tight and make sure this building gets captured. He doesn't shoot very many volleys anyway. Not sure why. I guess he was conserving his ammo. So we don't have much happening, so I'll just fast forward. His cavalry starts moving to kind of take him from the side. And this is where they get ambushed by the Great Guards. Now, looking at this guy's army, it does not look like he spent all of his funds on this, so ambush is definitely something you can count on. I don't know if he wasn't thinking about it, or maybe he was just sending him up here to kind of flush him out. But they'll be here in a second. He's probably just looking to flush him out, because you don't really need to take that wide of a berth if he was flanking. And with these trees right here, he's probably just moving up to uncover an ambush, which is a good thing to do at this point. If your guys aren't really doing anything, it's probably a good idea to look for the ambush. But unfortunately for him, he happens to run into 2 great guard units, which will just destroy his 3 cavalry units. So he intelligently pulls back right away, because there was no way he was going to take those out. Those great guards end up being very important. So let's look at what's going on. Cavalry is pulling back. Not much goes on for a little while. So let's take a look. The speed's tripled. This guy should have been really hitting him with skirmishing. See, this is why you don't want to be timid. Even though he's kind of claimed a defensive position and he's just going to sit here, doesn't mean you can't be proactive. He should have had these bow warrior monks a little bit farther up and just been hammering his units, because these bow ashigaru, especially shooting uphill, will have a much shorter range than these bow warrior monks. I don't know why this guy wasn't skirmishing harder, and his rocket troops weren't firing either. So we got really lucky there. Neither side really doing anything. So the workshop is captured. He's going to go on the attack, and so he moves his men over to this higher ground, which is a good move. Why walk up a hill to attack if you don't have to? move him over to this level ground, and then he kind of almost has a downhill slope going here. So the defender adjusts. The Great Guards are still way over here. Now, I would have probably pressed an attack now. It wasn't a bad decision not to, because it was still early. But with the Great Guards so far away, he could have pinned down this infantry, because he didn't have a lot of infantry, remember. Just these few units. And really hammered him with his cavalry before the enemy cavalry could get there to support him. So I probably would have attacked a little sooner. But he decides to skirmish, and it's still a good decision, because it's 2 bows versus 1. And with bows, numbers are really more important than quality. 3 units of 120 versus 2 units of 75. I mean, even if the archers in this unit of 75 are really good, just the numbers are gonna make a huge difference. So the cavalry is hiding in ambush over there. Good time to attack, but he doesn't, so I'll speed it up. So let's see what JH does here. We have Naginatas kind of moving. He's not pressing the attack yet. Looks like he's getting him into a kind of a double line formation. Now here come the bows to skirmish. Now he does a pretty good job skirmishing here, but he should have been a lot more careful with the cavalry and protected his bows better. I would have had my Naginatas up there pretty close to watch these Great Guards, because these Great Guards end up doing quite a bit of damage to his missile units. And so execution wasn't too good on the skirmishing, but it ended up working. So let's see. Great Guards are going to come up, 1 on each flank. There they go. The bows are getting ready. We see some Naginatas kind of shifting. He's in a long single line. Not a bad way to approach it, this single line. When he doesn't have very many units, surrounding him isn't a bad option, especially with that katana hero. You want to get him surrounded so he dies quickly. So the cavalry is going to go over kind of to cover. I would have pressed his cavalry, which he kind of does, but he doesn't make it there. He pulls back. I might have pressed him a little harder, but with the Great Guard retreating, maybe that wasn't a viable option. He pulls him back. Probably a good move. And then the skirmishing starts again. Here we go. Naginatas are moving up in loose formation to cover the bows. They're going to sit just outside of range. The bows are going to come up. Now, Defender didn't do a very good job here. He should have had his bows being a lot more aggressive and using his cavalry to drive the archers back while his bows shot into the other guys. Because I think he only has 1 bow unit shooting throughout this skirmishing. Not a good idea. See what I mean here? This cavalry is just going to walk in and hit his bows. Should have took better care of his bows. Maybe pulled this one back and gotten a Naginata unit up there. Because Great Guards, as good as they are, a Naginata will handle them pretty well. Especially if they get pinned down. So he kind of starts pulling back, but he catches them. And they all leave. So the skirmishing goes on for a while. Naginatas are starting to run off, but he pulls them back. See, this wouldn't have been a bad time to press the attack. Now, why is that? Look at all this cavalry he has covering. He's got 1 pretty full unit here. He's got another half unit. He's got a decent amount of cavalry left. I probably would have put my archers, or even my matchlock unit, which he still have. I'd probably put him right there and just start tearing into these guys. This would have been a good time to attack, 'cause he's pretty disorganized. I mean, look at his infantry line. If he had pushed right now and hit his infantry, there would have only been these 2 units here. The katana hero's back here, and this katana, or this Nodachi's over here. And look, the Nodachi's not in a very good position, because there's nowhere for him to charge. He'd have to go all the way around here, which would be guarded by missile units and the cavalry. I would have pressed my attack here, but he doesn't for quite a while. I would say to be a little more aggressive, because his infantry line is not prepared to take any to take a charge, especially with 7 Naginata units just pouring into here against these 2 katanas in loose formation. Would have been easy. This Great Guard's basically gone. This flank is completely secure. This Great Guard's not going to do anything. It's only this one. Where'd it go? This one. There it is. It's only this one that's even a threat, and even this isn't much of a threat, because he'd still have to go either charge him right into the Naginatas, which would be dumb, or go all the way around again. So he could have took 1 Naginata and put him here on patrol, moved your missile units right here, and then just rushed with your Naginata Samurai right now. Would have been perfect. But he keeps on skirmishing. It's still not a terrible decision. He has a big ranged advantage. And we'll see what he does here. The matchlocks have come up. They end up being very important. They put the final nail in the Great Guard coffin. So the defender does a pretty good job of chasing bows off, but he should have been a little more aggressive maybe, you know. When they're getting pushed back like that, bring your own bows up and just tear into him, because he's at a pretty big disadvantage right now. His cavalry is basically gone. His infantry is still in good shape though. He could have pressed a charge right here. Using his cavalry to push back the bows, they would have gone under cover. Fire rockets, I don't know why the fire rockets weren't shooting for a longer period. I guess JH got pretty lucky there, because his fire rockets could have done a lot of damage. Look how packed in they are. And yes, they do still have ammo. They shoot later on in the battle. So, see, this is the camping mentality. He's just going to sit here and make him come to him. When he could have been proactive on this defense, moved some units up, and really harassed him pretty hard. But he didn't, because I think he was in that camping mentality. See, he's on this little hill, and he's got this ridge protecting one side, and you just settle into that. It's not good thinking. So here we are. Just one cavalry. The other one's gone. It's shattered. So I would have attacked here if I didn't before. Once again, just flood this flank. This one now has a cavalry on it, but he has some cavalry left still. Much too. He still has 3 units. Most of them are pretty hurt. Almost like 2 full units. That could have tied down the Great Guard, if not killed it, because this one's only at half strength. And then at least just have one to just watch, one Naginata to watch the Great Guard, and the rest just pour in here. He could have really slaughtered right here, but he's going to keep skirmishing. And not that that's really a bad option, because hey, I mean, it's pretty much free kills. The defender's just not moving his bows up. It's a really bad decision. You need to be more active. I really criticize this kind of defense, this camping mentality, as I'm sure you all know. But so I guess JH was just gonna take advantage of that, and still not a bad decision. I would have attacked, but skirmishing works fine. Now watch what's gonna happen here. He's gonna bring his Great Guard again. I mean, what's the point of chasing off the archers if you're not gonna press afterwards? They're just gonna come back. You're just losing men, completely pointlessly. So his Great Guard is forming up. I'll speed it up a little bit. Now the bows finally start shooting a little bit. Great Guard's gonna come up. They're just gonna get pounded by these matchlocks. Maybe it wasn't this charge. Maybe it was. Yeah, here we go. That takes quite a few of the casualties out. Still, should have brought a Naginata up. I don't know why he didn't. Must have been too busy moving the bows. I know it can get pretty hectic, and can't really blame him, I guess. There he goes. So he's got one coming up, but he pulls out. That Great Guard will get decimated by the matchlocks in the next charge. Yeah, here he goes. He's moving the matchlocks up to guard against the Great Guards while the bows. See, this was pretty good skirmishing, because if they only have one cavalry unit, they're going to be drawn to the bows, which is the one shooting, and the matchlocks will be able to cover them. So, I mean, he squandered his opportunity to attack. He should have attacked last time. So basically, this Great Guard is going to get screwed if they try anything. So JH has a huge range advantage at this point. Now they're going to run over to the matchlocks. They're just going to get hammered. Look at that. They killed like 30 of them in that shot. 4, 3, and there's the shatter. And that unit is gone. It's kind of funny. This guy got sniped randomly. I'll try and show it because it was pretty cool. And nothing else really happens. He's moving the bows back up to skirmish. That guy gets sniped by that guy right there. Nice shot. Alright, so now he has a definite range advantage. There's nothing to scare his archers off. He can just sit there and skirmish all day. And he kind of knows that, but his response is weak. Just one katana samurai. They're going to get ripped up pretty hard by these matchlocks. Alright, here comes some more infantry. Now JH should have probably pressed again here too. Still a little timid. But here we go. I'll speed it up. He's pulling back with the matchlocks. Archers are moving back. I mean, he's just taking casualties. There's no point in continuing the ranged skirmishing at this point. He should just move up on attack. He has a huge advantage. They have no cavalry. They're already torn up. This is where you need to press your advantage. And don't waste time skirmishing, because the more you skirmish, the more bows you're going to lose. And you can use those bows to just pour missiles down on the enemy while they're tied down in combat. So they're being pulled back. Everybody pulls back to the hill. Missiles move up again. And here comes the response. The katana is just going to get torn apart by these matchlocks. And ended up wasting it because he pulled back anyway. Cavalry's moving around. He's going to do a pincer action. 2 cavs on this side, 1 on the other. And, I mean, I would have saved the cavalry again. And I don't know why I wasn't moving the infantry up simultaneously. This should have been a simultaneous attack. But he didn't. But he did do something good with this cavalry action. He managed to get enough attention that he snuck a cavalry around and hit the enemy's general. So that was good action, but I still would have moved my Naginatas up at the same time. Not sure why he didn't. Fire rockets are going to shoot again at this cavalry. See, they do have ammo. I don't know why he wasn't moving them up. I guess it's just the camping mentality, I guess. It's sad. Matchlocks are going to start shooting now. Don't know what he was doing here with the bows. Just moving them up. Maybe to shoot at the general, I don't know. But they're going to get shattered. So now the JH has pretty much a huge ranged advantage. Here comes the cavalry. Doesn't realize his general's about to get hit from this side. He was focused way too much on this one. Cavalry comes out of nowhere. Hits the general. General goes down after quite a while. I don't remember him actually dying, which, you know, go figure. General's gonna get hit. Good job using the wedge formation. It's pretty good if you're dedicating him to a single charge. I don't like it so much because it lowers your maneuverability. Now look how out of place his infantry is. Why his Naginatas weren't ready to capitalize on that, I don't know. Should have been much more simultaneous. See, just now they're going. And they're gonna get there a little late. But cavalry does some good damage, good cavalry action. Missiles are gonna move up too. This battle's pretty much over. His army is just ripped to shreds by all that bow action. And JH's is pretty much fine. The infantry is nearly untouched. Some of the units are completely full, and the ones that aren't are down only a couple men. So the missiles are moving up. His infantry is completely out of order. The general is gone. Yeah, his unit's gone. I didn't hear him die, but I guess he did. So here comes the infantry charge. Pretty late in my opinion, but it worked out. So he did a pretty good job skirmishing. That's how you want to skirmish. Move them up and back and forth and use the cavalry to threaten. But I think if the enemy was a little better and called him on it and skirmished back just as effectively, it wouldn't have ended up really doing anything that important. So there we go. Battle's joined, but it's over. He had a huge numbers advantage with those Naginatas. They're going to be competent enough in melee that if it's overwhelmed like this, the Naginatas are going to win easily. Looks like, did he dismount the general? Yes, he dismounted the general, doing the stand and fight to rally his men. Not very necessary, but good theatrics. And this battle's pretty much over. So I'll fast forward a bit. It's just a matter of overwhelming the enemy at this point. Katana Hero's still standing, but even they're starting to waver. These bow units have shattered, and the battle's over. So good job by JH. He had some good skirmishing, though he was pretty timid. I think that he missed some really good opportunities to attack, but it all worked out. On the enemy's part, his skirmishing was really bad. He did not respond to the skirmishers well at all. He should have moved his infantry up with the cavalry, tried to catch him off guard, because if he had got him while the Naginatas were moving and conserved his cavalry, he could have pulled out a win here, I think. But didn't do that. Did not skirmish well. He was in that camping mentality. So get out of that. It's not where you want to be. And so battle's over. Thanks for watching, everybody.